Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. Today I am here and I'm gonna be filming the mid-year freakout tag. I believe the original was done by Chami. I love her. She is so funny. I just literally adore her, but I couldn't find her the actual video, so I'll just link her channel down below. And I was like, why have I never done this? Here's the situation. Here I am now. I don't know what that was. You know what? I feel a little bit like I'm getting ill. Might have caught something on the plane.
Hate planes. Legitimately, I feel like there's always at least 15 sniffling people out there, and it's like, I'm a sponge. I'll soak everything in. Why do you have to be ill?
This is already off to a great start. Let me just get into it. I will mention though that the books that I mentioned I'm probably not gonna get too much into. The majority of you will be, you know, like subscribers that have been here for a very long time, and I'm so grateful. If you're new, hello. I hope you also check out other videos, so then you're not just like, she's so uninformative, which is probably true, to be totally honest in general. What is this? Is this some sort of like G roast G day? I mean, something needs to be roasted on this channel. Oh, double roast. Okay. What is this? Let me get to the questions so I shut the hell up. So the first one is the best book you've read so far in 2019. It was a sort of like a rough kind of blah year. Like, I think I gave 4 books 5 stars, and 2 of them were like either graphic novels or something of the source, and 2 were like novels. So 2 books I gave 5 stars. I mean, I am a bit strict with that, but even then the majority were like 2 or 3, which is like, I don't know why I keep like doing this. What is this? Do you know those like TikToks where people like dance to like an angry soundtrack? I love those. Those are hilarious. I'm so sorry. What is this? So obviously I had to pick one of the 2 of the 5 stars, and I think I'm gonna have to go with an Ember in the Ashes. I just really enjoyed it. I am so happy that I'm getting into the series now, but I wonder if there's gonna be another book that would win the most favorite of 2019, which I will obviously mention in my book awards that I do, but I am really excited about continuing the series. Majority of people say that it keeps getting better, but I have heard some people say that, you know, just sort of like calms down, and I don't want that. But I'm hoping. I love the struggles. I love how Sabata here puts the characters through hell. Like, I'm here for it. Best sequel you've read so far in 2019. Now, when I was going through the list of the books that I have read, I was like, have I not read legitimately like any sequels? It's weird. But I actually have. I just sort of thought that I read this a year before, but I didn't. I read this now. So that would be the conclusion to the Mistborn trilogy, The Hero of Ages. Though I will say that I had my problems with it. I did really like how it ended. I loved actually how it ended. The ending was really strong in my opinion. There was a good plot twist. Well, good reveal, not a plot twist. There were some really proper consequences, and those 2 things are very important to me. However, I felt like I really struggled for half of this book because it was slower than slow. You guys, if you know me, I love slow books. Like, there's nothing wrong for me in slow books because I like exploring. I like taking my sweet time with it. But this one just was too much of that. I think I'm gonna actually go with Descender Volume 3. This is a comic book. I love this one so much. I know quite a few people don't when they read this, because this is a backstory volume. You get basically, all you get in this one is backstories of different characters, but oh my god, I loved it so much. It actually got me emotional. It started punching me in the feels from the very beginning. Oh, I love it so much. I cannot wait to actually read the 4th one and continue. Just love it so much. If you have not read this, please do. If you have similar taste to mine, this is a sci-fi. It's basically about a world where they get invaded by like an alien robotic thing, and there's basically like a war before between the mechanical beings and humans. Something about AI just really gets me. Like, it just gets me more in the feels than things about humans. I just feel like people can be horrible, you know? Anyway, loved it so much. So much. So this is technically a sequel and I'm gonna count it. New release you have not read yet, but you want to. This year, I think I also have not been that excited about any type of release that I'm like really waiting for. I honestly only have like one each year. So last year it was Muse of Nightmares. The year before that, I think it was Aqua War. Yeah, I get mildly excited for a lot of books, but like for me to anticipate something, I really need to be in the fandom. So I don't actually have one for this year, and I've said that before. I don't think I actually have one, but ones that I'm the most excited about, I think are Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff and also The Toll by Neil Shusterman. Both of these are third books in their series. I am currently reading God's Graves, but I am really enjoying it, so I'm hoping that I am very much anticipating. Maybe after I read that, that will be my anticipated read. And The Toll, that is for The Scythe and Thunderbird. Thunderbird I loved so much. The Scythe was like okay. Maybe I just need to like check what else is coming out. I don't know. Oh, I answered the wrong question. So that was for the most anticipated releases for the second half of the year, sorry. The previous question was new releases you haven't read yet but want to. So that is of the things that I have. Oh yeah, so that would be Recursion by Blake Crouch. Blake Crouch is, I want to say, one of my absolute favorite authors, but I have only read one of his books, so I always feel like I can't say that because that doesn't sound really fair, because maybe it's like a fling, a really happy, awesome fling. The book I'm talking about is Dark Matter, one of my absolute favorite books. I wish if I could unread one book and read it again, that would be that, because it's a thriller, so I don't think I can enjoy it as much the second time around. But there's a new book. I didn't want to read his previous series because apparently that was very similar, and this might be also similar to that, but you know what? I don't even care. I'm really excited, and that is one that I really want to get to pretty soon. Ooh, so excited. If it's anything like that one, ooh, I need that. I need that in my life so bad. Now, I think the saddest thing about this tag is that the question of the most disappointed book of 2019 was the easiest to answer and also had multiple answers, so I suppose let's tear into them. So yeah, there were just a couple that I want to mention. First of all, Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I was just very sad because I actually really enjoyed Caraval. It was almost unexpected because I didn't think I would really like it, but I did, and then I was so excited about Legendary because everyone, almost everyone, said that they enjoyed Legendary even more, so I was like, oh, I really enjoyed Caraval, so this is gonna be even better. And then I read it and I literally pretty much disliked most of the things in here. It annoyed me, the lack of structure annoyed me, it just seemed like a book that you would write for yourself, not for anyone else. And being in the category of someone else reading this, it really frustrated me. Some of the things said in the very end kind of really rubbed on the wrong way to me, because if the roles were reversed or the genders even would be reversed, that stuff would not fly. And I just, I am still intrigued though, and I want to read the third one, but I don't think it's gonna be super high on the list, and the reason for that was Legendary. Kinda sad, because I felt like I'm just like really missing the train because everyone was really loving it, but anyway. I actually have 4 for this, how sad is that? Another one was Sadie. This one, again, it's all about the expectations, I assume. Because this one, I was ready to get my heart ripped out, I was ready to be hurt. I was like, okay, I see you, I open my heart for you, come stab it. And then it was just like, the topics that it covered should have touched me way more. I should have been distressed, because once I'd covered the information that we already sort of seen, I felt it very repetitive and I felt very disconnected from everything. And not that I wanted to relate, obviously, but I felt like it should have really played with my emotions, and it didn't. And I was just so disappointed, and also I understand that so many other people really liked it. And again, I was in that place where I'm just like, what is happening? why am I so different sometimes? But you know, that's fine. It's fine. And yes, the themes were important, but it didn't teach me anything I didn't already know. So I was there for the story and I was there for the feels, but when that all again missed the mark, there was nothing there. Do you know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. Anyway, the next one was The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokski. And this one was, again, a big disappointment. I liked the characters, but I think this book just tried to do a million things, and instead of focusing on maybe a couple and doing them well, it stretched itself thin to the point where a lot of people, including myself, were a bit confused half of the time of what the hell is going on. And this was basically trying to be like a Six of Crows meets any Dan Brown's book with like angels and demons and Da Vinci Code and stuff like that. But instead of you being there on the trip of discovery in the sense that you can also follow, it just seemed like it was pulling the resolutions of the puzzles out of their asses, and you're like, there's like legitimately no way for me to verify if these answers are correct. There was no way for me to be involved. I was just standing behind the glass door, like, you know, like with my nose to the glass, being like, can I go in and have fun too? No, I couldn't. So and then the last one I'm gonna mention here was one of my most anticipated for a very, very long time, and also really highly recommended by my best friend since like childhood. So the fact that I didn't like this one as much was very disappointing, and I still have not given it a rating. That one was The Android's Dream of Electric Sheep. I just had such high hopes for it, and I really enjoyed the beginning, but then afterwards it just felt repetitive. Obviously it's personal taste, but it was just a bit of a hit for me, and that was extremely sad because I was hoping for this to be like, you know, in the pile of my favorite books. Biggest surprise. The biggest surprise was actually Fire and Heist, because like I still only gave this 3 stars, but it was a very high 3 stars. But this one was surprising in a sense of how fantastically fluffy it was to read. And by that I mean, like, sure, there's a lot of stereotypes and tropes and everything in there, but I could feel the family like love and support and like dynamic, this ease of reading when I was reading this, and I didn't want to put it down, and I was just not expecting that at all. I actually thought I was gonna be struggling with this book a little bit, and the only reason I started it was actually for something that I had to do. Like, it wasn't, this one wasn't like extremely my choice. But I enjoyed it so much more than I was anticipating to enjoy it. It was like I kept saying, it's like a hot chocolate of a book. You're just there for a good time. You're just there to treat yourself. Sometimes I don't like saying that about books because I feel like that's kind of mean, but I mean it in the best possible way. So this was a really, really pleasant surprise for me. I was just enjoying my time, to be honest. My favorite new author would be Sabata Hirk, as I mentioned, for my favorite book, but also I'm gonna mention the second 5-star book, and that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmer. This one was also very surprising, so I could also fit that in the previous category, because I found myself not to be the biggest fan of retellings for some reason, especially like fairy tale retellings. I'm just not the biggest fan of them. But this one is for the Beauty and the Beast, so I was already having very low expectations, but I heard so many good things and I was like, I'll do it, I'll read it. And I love it, and I chose this one for the favorite new author just because of how unique I think Bridget's writing is. It's, again, it's legitimately like 75%, I feel, at least, I'm trying to be accurate here, dialogue. And I was just living for it. It was such a no-nonsense, no, like, too much of painful prose kind of writing. It was not flowery, but it was descriptive enough. What I liked probably the most about this is that it makes simplicity beautiful, and it also does not book-splain things to you, which I hate. It's one of my worst things in books. I hate when something important happens, you feel the impact, but that the author does not trust you to actually understand it, and it will explain it to you in the next paragraph. And I'm like, I was having a good time and now you're book-splaining things to me and now I feel like you just called me dumb and I don't like it. It's like, you know, some things are more impactful if you don't explain it after, but that's just me. Although I actually don't think that. I think that pretty much a lot of people feel that way, but I understand why some authors would do it. Now there's gonna be a couple of questions that I actually have no answers to. For example, newest fictional crush. I actually crush really, really rarely, which is sad. Because I wish I did, but I don't, like, I can't even make one up just now. I can't even pick one because I just didn't crush on anyone just now. But hopefully by the end of the year I'll have something. Then the next one is the newest favorite character, which again I don't really have one. So I'm gonna skip it again. I'm picky apparently with my characters. And another one is book that made you cry, and guys, I think I have cried a whole total of 2 times in my life from reading. I can cry like a baby from a movie. I think it's the soundtrack that gets me, but in books it's hard for me. Like, I'll feel the emotions, I will just not cry. Book that made you happy. I picked I Hear the Sunspot, which is a manga, which actually was the second one, The Theory of Happiness, but I do not know where I put it. It's just such a feel-good, warmth-filling friendship turned something more between 2 boys and at the university. It made me happy. The next question is most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. And guys, you know what I realized? I actually have bought so few books, especially compared to the last 3 years something. I think I only had 1 haul this year. And even that one wasn't like extensive compared to like some other ones I've done. Thankfully I had 1 book because I was looking through my Amazon list of what I bought, and thankfully I have 1 book that is actually beautiful because all the other ones were just like okay. But that would be The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is like a weapon. It's not a book, it's a weapon, so I feel safer sleeping at night, but also I really like it. It's just like so beautiful. It has some foiling. It's very it's stunning. And I think we're on to the last question, which is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And like, hello? do you know me? I do not do these kind of things. Like, I don't need to read anything. I'll read whatever I feel like at that moment, other than like anything that I need to read like for work and stuff, but that's like different, or book clubs. But which I don't know yet. But obviously the Dread Nation, which I probably should because it's like the 22nd of June and our live stream is really soon. But a couple of things that I want or would love to read by the end of the year. I would really like to read more into the series of the Ember and the Ashes. That would be really, really good if I did. And also another thing I really want to read is I want to reread The Name of the Wind at some point. But that's currently a little bit on hold, but I would love to do that by the end of the year. What else would I like to read? Literally everything from my shelves, but actually it would be great if I read the, what's it called? The Wicked King, like the second one to The Cruel Prince. I might include that in the news though. I don't know. Literally a lot of things, but nothing like super pressing. And I think that is everything. I actually had a lot of fun doing this tag. It's a nice wrap up of half of the year that has passed. Oh my god, half of the year has passed. But also, I felt like I had like limited choices of my answers other than like the most disappointing one, which is kind of sad. I feel like it's been like a year of bit of a miss of some books, but hopefully the second half is gonna be better. Hopefully I'm gonna go back a little bit into reading more. I feel like I've been just really busy with other stuff, which is fine, and it would be absolutely fine if I was happy with the amount that I was reading, but currently I'm not that happy with the amount that I'm reading. So hopefully the news are gonna give me a good kick, and overall I'll just find my groove again and have like a chain of good books. I think that would really help. But anyway, that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to do this tag, please do consider yourself tagged. If you don't feel like answering all of them, at least please let me know what was your favorite book of the year so far. I would love to hear that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a magical day ahead of you, or evening, whatever you are. Yeah, stay awesome, stay kind, and I'll see you next time. Bye!